Hello and welcome back to Oracle Mystica. This reading is, although it's timeless, it's definitely inspired by the day this is going up, which is Spring Equinox. So when you watch this, it doesn't have to be Spring Equinox, but that's the energy I'm tapping into, which you could also relate to or to help you to relate it, even if you're like watching this in the autumn or something, is like it also has that energy of like the new morning of sunrise, just like a starting a new day. So, what we're going to look at is kind of like what new fresh breeze, fresh breath, fresh passion is starting to wake up in your life, wake you up. And we're also going to, before we look at what new thing is entering your life, we're also going to like dive into initially what it is generally about you that does motivate you, that drives you, that wakes you up, that what is your general kind of morning energy, so that when we look at the new fresh breath of air coming in, we can also sort of strategize of like how to best tap into it and how to align yourself with it and work with it and yeah, all that fun stuff. So this should be a very enlivening, fun reading where hopefully it helps you tap into this energy of just like waking something up in you, of catching that fresh breath, of catching fresh things around you, of yeah, just kind of lightening up, generating some desire and passion, and kind of tapping into something that helps to like move you and drive you and enter kind of just like a new energy and really find your passion to move something in your life forward. So we're going to pick three piles with these wild unknown archetypes. Which we'll pick right now. This one, Thanatos. The sword. That's very, I don't know, Aries-esque, which is, you know, spring equinox brings, at least in the northern hemisphere, Aries season. Kind of the warrior energy. And Eros, which is sort of passion, definitely. So I like that these all kind of, in their own way, tap into this sort of energy that we're talking about. Thanatos is kind of the death energy, but that means sort of like a new cycle. So not just like a new morning, but like maybe like a new season even. And the sword is kind of that warrior charging forward, and Eros is a little bit more like entering this fresh energy through body and sensuality and passion that kind of arises from something deep within. So all really tapping into this beautifully. So don't just pick like the word that sticks out to you or the colors, just like close your eyes, and we're going to do some breaths to kind of move you into your third eye and your higher self. And then I'm going to tell you to pause it if you need extra time and just like really pay attention to which one you're being drawn into, rather than just kind of like, oh, I like this look or the name of that card, you know, like just feel which one's kind of magnetizing something. Because a lot of times these front covers don't totally tell you very much about what's to come in the reading. So take a deep breath in and hold it at the top, and then breathe out through your nose. One more breath, deep in, inhale in, hold it at the top, kind of look into that space between your eyes, and then breathe out with your mouth. And now relook at the cards and kind of meditate on which one's really pulling into you. And this is the time to pause the video if you need a little more time with the cards. And we will start with pile 1, which is Thanatos, and then move to pile 2, Sword, pile 3, Eros, and I will have timestamps below in the descriptions if you want to jump straight ahead to your reading. Okay, see you in your pile. Hello, pile 1, my Thanatos pile of death. That is sounding much scarier than I think what this indicates. Okay, so jumping into the reading, we are going to do some deep diving before we actually look at like what this new fresh wind, this new fresh breath of air, this fresh passion that's coming. We're going to look at a few things first. This card in the reading is indicating like some sort of energy around you currently that may have been the initiation for this spark, this new dawn, this new spring-like energy coming through. Or it could just be sort of the energy around you and how you're going to approach this, or like the best way for you to approach what's coming. So this card indicates to me that you have been touched by death or the underworld, or kind of like a deep dive into soul work and kind of stripping away a lot of superficialities, really understanding the preciousness of life, of the cycle of life and death, of what it means to have connected to, just like the depths of life and the depths of cycles. And you're coming into whatever this new energy, passion, drive that's coming in. You're coming into this with a lot more compassion and wisdom and soulfulness in you, which is really beautiful. And I think that wherever you take this fresh passion or energy is just going to have like such a deep meaning for you, and be felt by others, if that's important at all, even as something very profound and touching, Okay, so let's look at a couple more things before we dive into what this new thing is. We're going to look at what generally drives you, what motivates you, what sparks you to put things into action and to follow your impulses. Okay, so we have the goddess Saraswati, which is really cool because we have a goddess card in the this little pile right here about what is newly coming in. So you have a lot of goddess energy around you. Within you, you're very connected to goddess energy, which is beautiful. And Saraswati is really connected to creativity, the arts, expression, especially like dance and writing. But anything that's really expressive. So coming at whatever is newly entering your life as a new passion, if you can find a way to create an expression out of it, to create beauty through it, to give some artfulness to it. Like, I think you're definitely a creative person. So you may take literal things and turn them more metaphoric, or take new, like concepts coming in and use them to like defamiliarize things that have become norms in society. You'll have that like artist mind of being able to like sort of deconstruct and re-express things in a different way and in a more profound, insightful, beautiful way that's not so literal, but like very inspiring. Um, Something else that really motivates you is to tap into self love. So you may be someone who struggles to speak kindly to yourself, to really stay in your center and constantly ask, like, what do I need right now? What does my heart need? What lights me up? And it could be like a central challenge in your life to really develop better self speak, to develop more of a practice of checking in with yourself. But this is saying to, in order to like really take whatever this new fresh passion coming in, to take that and run, you need to really keep checking in with yourself and using your own heart as your compass, and really shutting out the chatter, the expectations, the voices of others, the need to please others, the need to uphold expectations of others, and just like keep it really close to your chest, whatever this is. Like really, play your cards close to your chest is what I was trying to say. Not that you can't share things, but only when you feel so deeply connected to like whatever you're doing is coming from a place of pleasing yourself first. And not being so invested in the approval, applause, critiques, advice of others. Like this just needs to be something that makes you feel good. And I do love, like, the peacock on this card is sort of saying like only you truly know the scale of the magnificence within you. And if you were to see like a peacock, they understand the beauty they have and they use that to shine. They don't hide their feathers to appease others or to change, they don't change things about themselves in order to feel like it's okay to be seen. They are just completely full of understanding of their own beauty, and they shine the way they want to. They strut their stuff and shake their feathers, and it's coming from a deep place within their own genetic kind of wiring, their own specific code, not because they've been instructed to do this or taught how to do it. It's just they do what they do because they're very, any animal is just like very connected to their own instincts. So this is, like a thing that is like, check in with yourself often, ask your heart what it wants constantly. What, when you wake up every morning, ask yourself, your inner self, like, what would make me happy? What do you need today? Yeah, beautiful. And usually I think the answer will be some sort of need to express yourself. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we're going to look at this new energy coming in. Might need to kind of move these cards up. Put them on the sides here so we can kind of keep an eye on them. We'll see if that works. Okay, so the new energy coming in, a new passion, a new drive that's sort of awakening you right now. We've got wind, which indicates change. We've got the number 11, a vibration of individuality, and we've got the butterfly maiden transformation. I actually want to start with this because I feel like it very much so is plugging into this Thanatos energy, this death energy, this transformation. Like you've really been touched by something profound, I think. And that's at the heart of the changes coming in. Like whatever you've been touched by, that's made you do some soul searching, that's made you feel the fragility but also strength of life and appreciate life in a totally different way. Um, like there's some sort of gift through this, and the butterfly maiden is coming through to breathe new um, air, new passion, to spark something new in you that's coming from this place that's like transforming you at a very cellular level. Like this to me feels like not just a new morning, this feels very much so like a new stage of life that's coming, like the new passion that's awakening you is just like a completely new stage of life, which is like, that actually brings me to the 11 next, that number. Yes, it connects to individuality, but it's also like to me, it's like a portal number. It's a doorway where you're leveling up a dimension um, rather than just like stepping into, a new project or a new idea or a new this or that or a new day. Like you are, it doesn't surprise me that death is attached to this in this scenario because or transformation, death, that understanding of soul. Yeah, this is you stepping into a completely new cycle, stepping through a portal, a new doorway, a new path that is taking you. That's where the wind comes, is taking you to a completely changed way of being, potentially a new environment or a new way of seeing your environment and connecting to your environment. But I love wind showing up for you because that change connected to like a new passion that just, is just like very fitting. But yeah, like a new, it's like your life is being blown into a completely different space, different place. I really do almost want to say like you're changing your environment, maybe a move of home, even if it's not like moving to a new locale, maybe you're just like moving homes. But something major. This is a major change, you have transformed, hence everything around you and how you interpret everything around you is systematically changing as well, which could definitely lead you to doing something other than what you've been doing. So there's just that reminder to do this out of a place of self-love and to keep really connected to your sense of needing to express and create, that kind of thing. So we're going to roll some astro dice to get a little bit more specific information of like where in your life this is happening, energies around it, what this change more specifically looks like. Okay, so we've got the 6th house, so something around work, around your day-to-day rhythms, around your sense of, even at a deeper level, your sense of purpose. So I do think like you're fully changing the rhythms of your day-to-day. Like maybe you've whatever these big transformations or this more soulful work is like a deep connection to understanding how important the monotonous is, the day-to-day efforts, rhythms, rituals, schedules, systems, processes are, to actually being the cornerstone of everything. If we don't have systems in place, we can't tweak things in a nuanced way, to evolve, to work towards creating abundance, making our life productive, developing skills. It's through being very systematically regular, but also systematically tweaking and refining, that we find sort of our greatness. So it's in like the most simple things that we oftentimes overlook or eschew, that really over time develop our instincts, develop our skills, our productivity, our purpose. So there's something deep around, like really profound. You're really leveling up in your understanding here and how you systemize your life. And it's very connected to seeing the beauty of the originality. So Aquarius and 11 have very similar vibrations to me. It's the 11th sign of the Zodiac. And they, in understanding their symbolism, they have some similar threads of parallels anyway. But yeah, it's like really valuing your originality, really valuing your personal instincts, that might be your own beat. And I think this is why you really need to work hard at this self-love thing, is what you're systemizing, what you're becoming productive and skilled in is totally idiosyncratic and your own beat, your own originality that can't be taught. It can only be understood within you through time, through practice. And that's what you're doing. It's like really creating some rhythms that are distinct to your cycles, to your nature, to loving yourself, to expressing yourself. And it's really going to create some beautiful, I think, really beautiful change, new passion. Like this is just coming alive in you, this willingness to be different, to be yourself, to be someone who marches to the beat of their own drum in what you do day to day, what you cultivate as your life, as your daily purpose, but doing it through seeing it as beautiful, through expressing it in beautiful ways, through a deep place of love and pleasure. And like I think that a certain slowness needs to be, and comfort and relaxation and luxuriating needs to be incorporated into this whole thing. Like you just need to do your rhythms slowly, do your uniqueness slowly, so you can revel in it, so you can feel it through your sensations and your body, and be it, really physically express. Yeah, there's something like very physically expressive coming through here. Yeah, it's really cool. I think your whole purpose, you've done this deep dive, you've understood the depths of yourself, and you're just completely embracing your quirks as something that is part of the cornerstone of your purpose, and you're really respecting it, valuing it, making it into something that's valuable and abundant for you. Yeah, so keep plugged into your expressiveness and your self-love, and jump on this wind of change, level up, and see yourself just transform into a butterfly. You're really coming into your own. So beautiful. Okay, so we're going to do just some quick tarot cards to see if there's any sort of other information that wants to come through here. Okay. That's 2 cards. Magician, I love it. Three of Cups, beautiful. Death. It's very present. Hierophant. Okay, can we put one more? Seven of Cups. Oh, beautiful. Okay, let me just straighten these out a little. I'm finicky about that. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so okay, so yes, absolutely. Like, this to me is absolutely like catching a new passion, a new something that's igniting you, and you using your impulses to be willing to see that you have the resources you need. So often we all have the resources we actually need to do what we want, but there's so many things that get in our way, and um, so much chatter and direction from others that makes us think that we need this extra piece of learning and this extra piece of resource to do what we need. But like, when you're really connected to your passion and that impulse, you become very resourceful, and you realize, like, you know what, maybe I don't have that expensive camera to do this, but I can afford to rent one, or so and so has one. I bet they would let me borrow it. You just like have that extra willingness to just like be scrappy and just do what you need to do to generate, to manifest this desire that's pushing through you. And this is like what I said, like maybe so and so has this thing that I can use. Like, some of your resources that you need, you have community around you that is very supportive and that may have helpful qualities, that may even be willing to collaborate like silently a bit, like just kind of back you, co-sign, lend, support, whatever it is. And then this death, I think your transformation, what's part of your transformation, what's part of you having gone down to see your soul, to have maybe even being touched by a literal death, whatever it is, you're transforming out of, like, this is a clue about the past, what you've come from. You used to hold way too much on your back. You used to be way too much of like a jack of all trades and have your toes dipped in everything and needing to be responsible for everything, and it just being like too much, like a burnout, complete burnout. Maybe that's your death, as you hit a complete burnout and you realize, like, maybe it was a health thing too. Like, my body has communicated to me that this is no longer something I am capable of doing. And I demand to change myself. I demand from myself to listen to my self-love of, what do I need today? What can I shoulder? What should I shoulder? And getting a little bit more focused and honed in on what actually makes you happy, rather than being sort of like seduced by all of the potentials. Like, I think you're a very talented, expressive person, and maybe you just really desire to do a lot because you can do a lot, but you're realizing, just because I can do a lot and I have a lot of potential doesn't mean I should do a lot. Like, what means something to me right now in this cycle? And you're really connecting with that. Yeah, I'm definitely like leveling up, like listening to higher self, listening to much more refined guides, mentors, much more tapped in sage type advice. Like you're cutting out any sort of, um, I don't know, wisdom, advice, chatter from those that actually don't mean much to you, um, that you don't feel that connected to. I think you've maybe just absorbed a lot from all over the place, and you're getting more refined. That's six. Like you're really refining who you let influence you, and better at like really checking in with what you need, what you want. And through that, the diversity that you hold of skill and excellence, there's something about that refining and simplifying and focusing that somehow actually creates more generative diversity within you. It's kind of this paradox of like, um, I don't stay tapped into diversity and I don't keep myself diverse by doing so many things. I excel at things that really mean something to me, and through that, I have access to a diversity of things now that really enhances and beautifies the diversity of my soul. Um, yeah, I do think you're someone that like really enjoys kind of being plugged into just life, and there all of its shades and dimensions and levels, and there's something about like just really simplifying. And yeah, I mean, I already said it, I won't say it again. I like to repeat myself a lot, I've noticed as I rewatch my recordings. Okay, let's just get some confirmation cards. Oh, booklet in there. Judgment, yeah. Three of Wands on Three of Cups. You have a vision, and people are here for it. New passion has some financial potential. Okay. Yeah, that one wanted to come out. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Everything about this. Okay. So, judgment is coming through with this new passion. Like, there was like a hard stop. That death, that makes sense with like that death energy, even if it wasn't literal. It was sort of like this metaphoric dive into soul and life force, whatever it was to you. Um, it was a judgment moment. Like maybe you got sick, maybe someone literally died around you, maybe you just naturally did a deep dive into your soul, felt that energy of the underworld, stripped anything superficial. But there was a judgment moment, there was a hard stop, that was like, nope, stop carrying too much, carrying too much. Um, yeah, and then what I said with the Three of Wands, I kind of already stated that, but I'll just restate it as I often do. You have a vision, and people are here for it, and they're here to support you, whatever you need. So know your tribe. Be good to your tribe as you're learning to be good to yourself, because they're here to support you in this vision. Communicate your vision to them. Sometimes it's good to keep our visions to ourselves in certain ways, but this is indicating like the people you really trust, like family, friends that feel like family, your tight circle. Um, you should communicate it to them because they are here to support you. Um, this Ace of Pentacles on top of the Ten of Swords is saying, yeah, as soon as you kind of stop holding too much and get like more focused and more specific and more and easier on yourself, you'll actually establish your value, hence attract value to you. Yeah. And then with this death card, this transformation that you are going through, your heart is very alive, and it is like it's feeling very dutiful, it's feeling very structured. It has that vision. Isn't just like a whimsical, like, I have a vision that I'm gonna write a book, whatever it may be, or a vision that I'm gonna travel the world, whatever your vision is. You have some like you have a passion, you have a command, you have a certain leadership quality coming through you, but that's like become that understands that it needs some structure and it needs some planning, and that is going to elevate you above any sort of competition, because you know that through responsibility and follow through and planning, you have everything it takes to be a leader in whatever this new passion and vision is. Again, like being refined and really only listening to the advice that feels meaningful to you, that resonates, and like cutting out the chatter. This self-love, that's part of how you can generate more connection to self-love. And I do think maybe you need to even find some wisdom holders around the subject of self-love, because that's something that's opening to you and that you should practice and work on, because it's entangled in this new fresh energy coming through. And I think it's a really key important thing, because there's something about your heart opening and you coming from a place of doing you and checking in with you that is magnetic and keeps other people loving you and you loving you and you loving everyone else, and just this circulating love of life, of you, of others, of community, of the world, whatever it is. And then this temperance is coming through to say, like, yes, you are finding your rhythms, that sixth house. There's something about cultivating rhythms, about finding the workload that works for you, the space for self-care that works for you, all that. Like, what do you need in your day-to-days? What do you need in your weekly schedule and your monthly schedule to help life continually flow and feel renewed and have its uptime and downtime, its pushes and its pullbacks? It's, like, it's part of this planning, really getting strategic about what you're willing to hold, what you should hold, what you need for you. What do I need today? What do I need this month? Really listening to the rhythms that your mind and body and heart desire, and cultivating it slowly. It's, creating these rhythms doesn't happen overnight. Like, start with a few things, and once you get those in rhythm, like, add in the new things that you want to do, and like, you're really refining your rhythms, and it's making you much more resilient and powerful, and it's helping that diverse aspect of you really flourish. Okay, so this is what I have for you guys in this reading, and I'm very excited for you guys. I think this is a huge new fresh energy, passion, drive coming in, life changing, it feels like. So I hope you liked it. Let me know in the comments. Definitely subscribe if this resonated with you and you want some of my, more of my readings. Definitely appreciate a follow and a nice thumbs up. Okay, see you guys in next reading. Hello, pile 2 and the sword. Welcome to your reading. So before we jump into this new passion or awakening that is coming through to you, there's a few things I want to look at so that we can better sort of strategize and brainstorm of like how to for your energy, how to dive into this new passion and foster it and move it forward and nurture it, type of thing. So this card, the sword in your reading, is sort of indicating some sort of origin or source of where this is coming from, sort of the energy around you that may have been the instigative energy that's brought whatever this new drive and passion and awakening into your life. And the sword has, several things about it that may hit for you. It's sort of like this need to make a clear decision as well as to individuate. So some of the things in the book that it talks about is like the cutting of the cord when we're born, from being part of your mother to being an individual. So like, what in yourself have you recently, or are you feeling energy around of like really needing to draw some lines, cut some cords, really individuate yourself, be your own hero, be your own clear sense of self and force in the world and in your own world. But it's also about like, drawing clear boundaries, making decisions, stop sitting, like maybe there's something that you sat on the fence with for a long time and you've finally kind of made a clear decision. So it really clarifies things, it sets boundaries, it individuates ourselves. Like, if you think of that King Arthur legend where he's the one that pulls the sword from the stone, it really has some symbolism of like stepping into your power, individuating yourself, claiming your birthrights, that kind of thing. So there's something really bold, clear, decisive surrounding your energy right now, which is really, really great. It's always nice. And I think that makes it easy, like whatever new passion arises kind of due to that, it makes it sort of easy to step forward, that clarity of knowing yourself and what you want and your direction. That so you may, of the piles, have like a fairly easy time running with this new passion arising in you. Okay, so before we look at what this is, we also want to check out what it is generally, not this momentary, this current energy around you, but like generally, universally, what motivates you, what drives you, what inspires you and pushes you. So we have two cards for this, and we've got Santosha and Destruction. And to me, these almost have opposite energies. So you're really holding an interesting, cool polarity of like, you don't necessarily have to have a strong element of these signs in you, but to me, it's feeling like astrologically like the pole of Taurus and Scorpio, creation and destruction. So the Thanatos talks a lot about really liking to take your time to revel in, to appreciate, to feel your accomplishments, to feel life, to feel the good things around you, and to just like luxuriate in it, touch it, feel what arises in your body. Just, like this strong connection to forming life and a deep sensual connection to that. It's very earthy energy. And then this destruction energy is very scorpionic to me. It's sort of even like in the dream spell, which is sort of like inspired by the Mayan astrological system or soul patterning system, sort of like the storm seal or graph icon. but also like that feels very scorpionic to me, of like really at the root of this destruction, this need to understand where life force is either leaking from you or clogged, and like going down into those dark places and witnessing and releasing those issues, like being willing to destroy elements of your life in order to resuscitate and get your chi moving, to get your life force moving, to understand how to get your channels open and flowing and alive. And so this death is actually about re-enlivening in this sense. So this creation destruction thing is something that really motivates you, and I think it comes from this deep appreciation of life, you know, of the beauty of creation, of the beauty of resurrection. Yeah, so these are something, you know, things in you generally, inherently, that motivate you. So keeping in touch with like how things are creating and where things are stuck, and just that love to like get in there and create, to get in there and destroy, to just make life flow is what it feels like. Okay, we're gonna keep these cards kind of up here to help keep them in mind. And then we're going to look at what this new energy coming through is, this new awakening, this new passion, this new impulse coming through. Okay, so we've got Artemis, who's bringing it. We've got breath and life. Yeah, life. I actually didn't even see that when I picked picked this pile. Connection to life. And then self-discipline. So I actually kind of want to talk about this first because it's so inherently connected to your universal sort of drive and motivation. This card, so breath or life, that's coming through is, to me, there's something maybe very physical waking up in you, and this new desire to really work on what it feels like physically to be more alive, and like really training with breath work, training with yoga, finding some disciplines to be self-disciplined and to train to feel the life force moving in your body. So it doesn't have to be the things I've named, but there might be some practices or some physical things you want to do or that are waking you up, that you're really feeling motivated and passionate about feeling life on a physical level and refining that connection to physical life, to your own breath, how your lungs, how you can train your lungs to expand and contract appropriately, and hold more breath and hold breath longer and expel breath longer, and use breath in movement appropriately. That's definitely what's coming in for me, is something very physical. We'll see what some of the dice or cards say, but initially that's kind of the vibe I'm feeling. Is this just need to clear out any blocks, destroy any blocks in your life force, and like rebuild, remold your physical, whether it's just, it could be even like your physical vessel, but it might be just how you feel physical, how you tap into the physical, how you feel connected to the physical, and really, creating a discipline to help you refine this over time and practice and master some beautiful connection to just life force within you, within life. And then Artemis, the guardian coming through, that's bringing this, that's watching over you with this. There's some, yeah, I mean, this card says you and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. But I also want to say that Artemis is like really connected to me to women, to childbirth. Maybe you've just given birth literally to a child, and like that really in a primal way like woke you up to something physically, or maybe you want to have a baby, could have nothing to do with a baby. You know, but that Artemis connection, the energy she's bringing and why she's here, I think is like tapping into, and I don't care what gender you identify with or what biological gender you are or sex you are, she's waking up the wild feminine force within you, this need to come from a primal place, to be connected to the wildness of your soul and to nature's rhythms and hence your own rhythms. So there's something, yeah, so that's the physical aspect I'm feeling from Artemis, is like connecting to the dark, feminine, wild, primal body place, really coming through the power of the body, the power of the soul. Okay, I'm going to roll some astro dice to get a little bit more specific of like maybe what area of this life this is really coming through from and for, and sort of the qualities around it. Fourth, totally. Cancer in the fourth. Yes, Artemis is coming through here big time. And then we've got Pluto. I'll get there. So, fourth house in Cancer. Cancer's natural house is the fourth house, so they have very similar symbolism, but it's like you're really, there's a new passion awakening in you that you're really needing to get clear about the roots and the foundations of your life, but that stem from that dark, wild, feminine place, and like really understanding what soul is, really deepening into the foundations of your life. This physical quality may even sort of be like, I want my home to be able to hold this energy. So like maybe feeling like you need to create a space in your home for this kind of ability to tap into the clarity of yourself, the life and destruction you hold within you. So creating a space in your home for this practice that's like your own place, your own private nurturing spot, and really doing a lot of self-care through this. Like it should feel like self-care, even though there's a self-discipline thing coming in here. That discipline needs to incorporate you being good to yourself, this feeling like a caring practice and not like an overly ambitious, aggressive, attacking type thing. Like it should make you feel good. It should make you, it should feel comfortable. I mean, it's always good to push your comfort zones a little bit, but it should be things that make you feel familiar, things in your body that reacquaint you with your physical self in a feminine way, the power of being able to give birth, whether that's literally or to projects. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. There was a glitch in the filming and something got turned off. So I'm going to try and restart where I was. I went for a little while. So I apologize if I either reiterate something or cut off my last thought, but I will do my best here. Okay, so I think I was sort of in the middle where it cut off of saying that generally there's just something about the connection to the female powers to physically give life as a very primal thing, as something that can energetically be felt in anybody, but like really connecting into the womb space in a physical way, doing work around your root and sacral chakra, like really waking up the sexual organs as something that inspires or literally creates life. But yeah, there's something physically going on here, and especially in a more feminine aspect of holding life, of incubating life, of nurturing life, of just that primal power. And then we've got this planet Pluto came through too. So there's either something psychological or physical that is newly awakening in you. So understanding in a really deep transformative way how to connect to these places in you and these powers within you. Or there could be some blocks, either physically or psychologically, around womb space, around sexual organs, that is really coming into a powerful moment of being able to like really witness where this block is coming from, what it is, and being able to like uproot it and heal it and get in touch with your power as a human creator. Which is really cool, just like using that sword to be like really clearly say like, this is the moment. I am either awakening this in me or healing this in me, and understanding the transformative aspect that is held here, the life and destruction, the creation and destruction element that I possess physically within me. Okay, so we are going to move on to some tarot cards to see what any of these oracle or dice may have missed. And I had actually pulled the initial tarot cards when the filming stopped and I didn't know it. So we'll just lay those out. We're going to pull some confirmation cards that you'll see live, but I had not gotten yet to interpreting these. I just shuffled and pulled them on camera, so I'm really sorry you missed that. Anyway, okay, so really beautiful things coming through here. Typically with this Devil card, I would say that there's some sort of attachment issue you need to look at, but in this scenario, it's feeling very different to me, of like, you might need to, this new awakening you're feeling might be leading you to understanding attachment to the physical plane, and the importance, we are living in a physical reality, the importance of working with the physical domain of life, and understanding both the beauty and the danger of it, but like immersing yourself in this, not in a way where you get overly attached or become dependent on that, but like, I think this awakening, this new passion coming through, is this Devil card is here to say that like, the physical is not evil or bad or unrighteous. Like it's beautiful and fucking holy. And, sorry, I don't know if I should bleep that. I'm not sure if YouTube swears, regulations. Anyway, it's, yeah, there. I think this Devil card is just coming here to say that there is beauty and amazing things to understand how to feel attached to in appropriate ways, but also be able to detach when needed. Not like unhealthy codependency here, but to give it a little bit more weight, to live it, to feel it, to indulge in the physical a little bit more in a disciplined way. Yeah, and then you've got a bunch of cups that came up right after that. So there's something like these waters, those womb waters, or really that's like what's coming to mind, like really feeling a need to start flowing in your life. And so just like tapping into the water element and how that needs to move your emotional body, your emotions, how that can help you harmonize and connect with others, how it can help you align yourself. To let emotions move through you and not block them or oppress them, but not to be attached to them, but to just like let them, like waves, come in and out. And though they're not permanent and they're not us, they're just information. And so to allow them to flow, allow that womb space to inspire the willingness to let emotions flow, to open your heart to connection, to be moved by life in an emotional way, and seeing the beauty of fluid exchanges that inspires in your life, both in kind of more romantic ways, in supportive ways, and in general just like a harmony and movement of life and everything around you, of the nectars of the diversity of life that's coming through. And this is exactly the Temperance card after these cups, is just saying like you're really getting a hold of not just fine-tuning something physical about yourself, but that inspiring your ability to know how to manage and work with and flow with physical and emotional terrain in a way that's very healthy and makes you more resilient. And all of that work, all of that passion and discipline you put towards it, that's coming up around all of this, is like giving you this new ability to see how to repattern your life, how to reorder your life in a way that where life then works for you, where you have just like a really deep command of your life and an ability to be the leader of your own life. But there's definitely sort of like a new patterning and ordering to your life that is possible in terms of the work your passions are leading you towards. This new fresh outlook is leading you towards. Okay, some confirmation cards. Man, let's see if this is the right amount. Might be one extra, but we'll take them. Yeah, okay. I love it. Need to push these up though. Yeah. Sorry, just give me a second so you can see all of this. Okay, so yeah, a changed perspective is coming through. This is showing it's like a time to really observe how you feel detached from the physical realm and to work on your perspective with it. But it's like a perspective shift is possible and coming through If you allow all of this water to work for you and flow through you and be embraced by you. This perspective shift will really help ease some anxieties. I feel like having come from a place of maybe being a little too detached from the physical primal aspect of life as something where you've gotten too into mind and anxiety, and I think like really grounding into body and feeling the physical aspect of yourself is going to calm your mind, and really lead to a much more stable, beautiful place. And some wish fulfillment is coming through here. Doing this work is bringing a wish fulfillment, whatever that means to you, whatever would make your heart most happy, most valued right now. This work is here to support that, and the timing is right for clear path ahead to charge forward in this. A lot of support from community, a lot of support from just the passion, general passion around you. The people you care about are sharing in this passion for or with you. And it's just like inspiring a new future and a new phase of life through this. Yeah, like a renewed hope in life and a fresh phase of life. Like a season of life is shifting for you as you dive into this, and just like a whole new way of feeling and being is coming through here. So really beautiful, guys. I love this reading for you. I love this fresh energy coming through, this fresh passion. I wish you all the best with this revival of sorts. And definitely, if you want more readings and you have not subscribed yet, please do so. And if this resonated for you, I definitely appreciate like a little thumbs up or a comment. It helps a lot. Yeah, and I will see you guys in the next reading. All right, cheers. Welcome, pile 3, to your reading. You picked the Eros card. So this card in the reading to me is indicating some sort of current energy around you that may be the origin of, whether you realize it or not, the origin of where this new fresh passion and motivation and drive may be coming from. So we're going to dive into that energy that's sort of around you. And then before we get to the actual sort of like fresh passion that's arising in you, we'll also look at what generally, universally, not just around this thing, but generally what are your motivators? What drives you in general? To help give some insight into how to work with this new fresh passion coming through. Okay, so something around you right now that you may be feeling and that might be responsible for this fresh energy coming up is the energy of Eros. So to me, this is it does have sort of a sexual connotation, but it's so much more than that. Eros really encompasses the quality of love and longing and a real desire to unify. So it's very different. I think Audre Lorde said this. I'm pretty sure it was her who did talk about this. That it has a very, very different energy than like eroticism has a very different energy than pornographic energy. It's sort of like sexuality plus emotion and love, whereas the other is sexuality without that. So this is something more than just like feeling a sexual energy. There's a deep longing in you, this want to unite with the force of life, with the energies of creation, with merging hearts with others, being very intimate. Yeah, there's something just really passionately alive in you, of like really wanting to merge with something. So this could be responsible for what is freshly arising in you as a new passion coming through. But before we get to that, let's take a look at certain things about you that may be your generally in life things you can tap in to help motivate you and drive you in order to push this new passion forward and work with it in a beautiful way. Okay, so we've got Krishna and sacred sexuality. It's just so unbelievably, this card is, I have to kind of hold it up so you can see it better. With the shimmer, it's hard to sometimes see at different angles. Okay, so these two cards completely support what you're feeling right now. So this could just be like your vibe is just generally feeling alive. So Krishna is a goddess of love and compassion, but it holds some similar things where it's just really open to wanting to embrace and be intimate with life and love and people and the world and the divine, and just like feeling that deep it takes it to more of a spiritual level of like really feeling that that longing and that unification energy, that love and deep passion towards the divine type energy, and wanting to embrace it with your arms and feel it. And so it's sort of a little bit of like, I don't know if this is weird, but like a little bit of erotic energy pointed towards this enraptured feeling with the divine. It's just like a little bit more of a spiritual spiritual sexuality, if you will. And then you've got sacred sexuality too, something that motivates you. So that's something like the sexual side of life could be something that really interests you and you have fascination with, and you may be someone who's really motivated to test where your boundaries are with this, and where you're wanting to come alive, what makes you alive in this domain, through how your heart feels in it, through the longings you feel that generate through the way that you love, through the way that you feel erotic more towards this physical plane of life. So there's sort of like both a spiritual and this physical side of like really wanting to feel a unification with life, with others, with spirit, with yourself, and testing where your boundaries are with it, and understanding this energy in a really nuanced, passionate, beautiful way. So I think you're just a very charged, vital person. Okay, so let's look at this fresh passion coming through and see what it's about, and go from there. I'm going to put these up here to kind of keep us tapped into them. Okay, so we've got a goddess, sort of an elemental thing, and a number vibration. Okay, so whatever's coming through, I do want to say, okay, it may feel like, you may feel like timing is off or something, even though you feel this deep passion. And I want to tell you that no, it's not. Like, it might, whatever this passion is, that sparking new life in you, you need to make room for it as sort of like a side. Like there's something else I think that's sort of dominating your time or your focus, like a need to put a lot of energy into work to support yourself and your life, that doesn't leave a lot of time for this new passion that's coming through. But I'm wanting to say that, like, don't let that deter you from pushing the gas on this new passion. But just know that, yes, at the moment it's something that probably needs to be worked on the side, but don't let that get you down. Like, you need to have a lot of, these two cards to me are like, keep the faith. What are some words you can use to inspire you? How can you build up a sense of faith to follow this dream, that it is not impossible, that it is meant for you? And you need to keep a sense of faith with it, to keep following this star, this energy, this passion that's coming through, and not let that you might have to be doing it on the side get you down. That little steps in a consistent fashion can lead to great big openings and great big things. And I think that's where you're at right now. So it's like really tapping into a way to channel the faith and the belief in this, and an unwavering, clear focus, clear intention with this magic card. Like, it really signifies that you need to be clear about this goal, and to, magic can sometimes be quite practical. Not to riff off of that movie, Practical Magic, because that's not at all, has nothing to do with what I'm saying. um, but it can be practical, it can be scientific, in a way, if you have very clear intentions, very clear understanding of your motives, of what you're trying to create and weave together. Allow things to marinate, allow yourself to weave little by little, element by element. Something is coming together, and it may look like nothing initially, other than that that sensation in your body, that passion that's rising, something that's awakening you. It could just feel like that's all there is. Like, how can this lead to anything? But it can. You just have to take element by element to build it into, this element is now a physical thing that I can weave with that physical thing, and just like little by little, understanding that all these things that you're weaving and marinating and building upon are always focused on this clear goal you have. And like, even using specific words, words have magic of their own, which is like, spell casting or incantations or enchantments. You can use words to help inspire this to move, to help inspire your faith, to help inspire this focus on the intention and what you're trying to manifest. And you have the magic. I think you understand what this is about, probably more than what I'm communicating. But I think you have your own sense of what magic is to you, and how you can use alchemy and words and intentions and timings and whatever to build to this, to manifest something out of nothing. Because it's saying this is possible. You're capable, whatever this passion is, you're capable of taking it from a sensation to a real thing. Okay, so we're going to roll some astro dice to get a little bit of information more specifically about the area of life this is pertaining to, where in your chart is sort of being ignited around this. Okay, so a mastery. You're really working on, yeah, this is a big goal. This is a big climb. You're up for a vertical trek into something, reaching really high. This is saying like keep focused. You're building something around your sense of authority and mastery and excellence that can give you a position and standing in the world. Um, so little step by little step, this Saturn energy is very good at taking things one step at a time and gaining long distances and coming out on top, um, by doing little by little, by chipping away, by keeping focused. So focus, limit the distractions, anything that does not need to hold your attention. You need to limit these things so that you have, when you have that side time, when you, all that extra side time you have is all very, very, very focused. And then eighth house, this is something very powerful, life and death, sexuality. This completely plugs into your energy. Magic, power, resources, shared resources, um, intimacy, um, empowerment. Did I already say that? Just listing things. I don't know if I've already said them. Yeah, there's something. This is also the occult. Maybe you're literally into magic, becoming a literal witch, becoming, but there's so many areas this could pertain to. The eighth house holds energy of surgeons, of stockbrokers, of witches, of prostitutes, or sex workers, I should say, of, yeah, I'm just trying to think of careers or some sort of specific, like, positional type things. That's kind of what's coming through here. Um, you could be a med student, you could be an occultist, you could be, um, a researcher of anything, anyone in the research field, anything about uncovering hidden information, archaeologist, even, a spy. What I'm just thinking, throwing some stuff out here. But with the energy of Taurus, um, this could be in the financial realm. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but there's something where you're really, wanting to, feel your senses, feel the ability to mold and create life and value, to be heard. Maybe you're using your voice in one of these areas, as a spokesperson, um, or just needing to beautify something about these. This maybe could even be cosmetic type things, cosmetics or cosmetic. Anything that kind of transforms appearance, transforms the physical. You could be renovating a house, or someone who's good at doing, refabricating, recycling, renovations, but using, yeah, like the physical material world. Anyway, just some thoughts to throw out there. If I didn't say something that's hitting for you, you kind of get the gist of different areas this could go. So I'm sure there's a gazillion things I haven't said that also match the potentials here. But generally, what's being communicated is have utmost belief in this, have a focus, chip away at it, use words to draw in, to magnetize what's going on here, use them to create alchemy, use the materials you have to weave and uncover, and yeah, just like you have an ability to really generate a lot from thin air. Okay, Let's do some tarot to see anything we've sort of like missed through the oracles and through the astro dice. Let's tease out a little bit more about either information you need to hear or uncovering more about what's going on with this passion, how to tend to it. I don't know. We'll just see what comes up. Okay, 8 of Swords, 8 of Cups. So much 8 energy coming through here. Wow. Fixed, very fixed energy, but also abundant. 6 of Wands. Fool. Okay, one more. King of Pentacles. That feels very Taurus and Taurus-y to me. Okay. So, 8 of Swords and 8 of Cups. There's definitely like, this new passion has you stepping out of doing things, or at least aiming towards doing things that have a much deeper resonance for you. You may have been on a path of trying to uphold external expectations, even if it wasn't like a specific person or lineage that's like, you should be doing this with your life. There's just sort of like general expectations you've somehow integrated into yourself that they haven't been quite right, quite aligned, quite resonant with who you actually are. I think maybe you needed to go through that to understand what turns you on, what charges you, what enlivens you, and that sexual force within you that's so powerful. I think you had to go through some things that sort of deadened your soul to recognize. Sometimes we have to learn what we don't like to learn what we do like. And I think this is what you've gone through, is like learning a lot about what you don't like, what paralyzes you, what's just so soulless. You know, a lot of this 8th house energy can get corrupted, and maybe you've sort of been seduced into powerful things, but in the wrong vein, or using it in industries that use it the wrong way, or just not, I shouldn't say the wrong way, but in ways that like don't authentically use that that sexual inspiration. Not that it does not have to be about sex. It's just like this that deep wanting to merge, to find the hidden, to uproot the blocks, to channel resources appropriately. Like there's just something that you know, I think you've been in the right vein, but in a way that's felt corrupted to you, and it's paralyzed you, and it's made your soul feel empty, and you're now like, you know, I need to really take some action steps to make this different dream work for me, and to work with this deep unification, shared resourceful energy in the way that I know it needs to be worked with, the way I know I can work with it. So you're preparing to kind of leave the past behind and step into your power in the way you know that it should be used. And keep chipping away at it. This is sort of like this 6 of Wands is kind of like this Valor card. It's a Leo energy. It's a commander, a a leader. You've got this in you, and you need to step into that and believe in yourself as a leader. If you do that, if you kind of stand up for yourself, claim your spot, claim your spotlight, speak up, act out, not act out in like a negative way, but like take action. You're gonna open up this new path for you. This dream, follow your dreams. If you step into your voice, your leadership, your command, it's going to open up a new path for you to walk towards your dream much more unencumbered. And walking into it as a force with the energy of the night, of being able to expand, to use your mind in its precise, sharp, intellectual understanding of very, very deep things, to kind of create an expansion around this and to conquer something around this, and then to step into your rightful place. This is what you're rightfully stepping into by following this passion, by believing in yourself, by going step by step and not wavering off the path of belief. You step into your position of King of Pentacles. That's the position that's coming through. A king of resources, a king of body, and king energy to me is like more of this ability to be managerial, to understand how resources are allocated, to affect regulation, to affect what norms are and what rules are in place, that kind of thing. You feel like a very powerful person. And yeah, so let's do some confirmation cards to see any kind of other hidden things in here. Knight of Wands, Eight of Wands. This is going to go faster than you think if you just believe. Okay. We've got another Eight of Swords going. That might be one thing to watch for, since this came through twice with the Eight of Swords. It's kind of like, I think it's something with this Saturn energy too to be aware of like not feeling like you have to come on the scene or move towards something with already having a lot of power behind you, or by trying to do too much, too big, too soon. It paralyzes you. One step at a time. When you're building something and you need to do it slowly, integratively, with integrity. And if you're trying to do too much at once, or trying to be too big at once, it trips you up, So that's like the one warning I see coming through with this. But other than that, really believe in yourself. Okay, so yeah, what I'm seeing is if you get focused, you are willing to believe in yourself and take one step at a time, and be real with the resources you're starting out with, and the steps you need to take to build your kind of like your authority. Things will happen faster than you think. You are a force that is balancing something in the world. This definitely has to do with like creating some equity in the world, or even just in your life or your community. It doesn't have to be as big as the world. I just see you as a powerful person, but that could be just with your family or in the community, or it could be globally. Who knows? Yeah, but there's something that you're trying to create a better balance of equity, with that way you work with resources and hidden information and the channels of power. You're trying to make this more, something about that more equitable. And this is just like with the Fool and the Eight of Swords again, like be willing to be small at first. You will explode over time with step by step. Once you reach a certain place, there will be that like tipping point where you kind of exponentially grow, but like don't start your path as like trying to be too big too soon. So this is a warning, like when that path does clear for you to step into whatever this dream is, don't try to overwhelm it. Still be like really methodical and step by step and focused and limiting things and working wisely and realistically with what you have at your disposal. And that will lead to this ability to hold, like you're working up into this ability to hold an immense amount of complexity and weave it in a very harmonious way, and to create a flow that's very heart-centered in whatever this passion is. You will get, like, trust that you will get there. Like, don't start with too much, but trust that you will end with a lot. I hope that makes sense to you guys. And then this king position that you do end up at is just like you will prove yourself, like by keeping the faith, by working little by little, by staying focused. You will prove yourself in that king position as someone who knows how to start from nothing, create a plan, focus, follow, and develop character and credibility and authority and excellence. Like, you will be seen for the amazingness of being able to come from nothing in whatever this is. Not that you have to come from nothing, but like whatever this dream focuses on, starting from point zero and being able to lay a solid plan and reach the top. So amazing. Like, definitely this feels like a steep climb, but there's that sexual type of force. Not that it's I don't feel like this is about sex, but that generative, deep longing, want to unify with life and spirit and divine and the world is like so powerful. It's like a wave. This is like a wave to me that's just like pushing you forward, whatever this is about. Definitely something about your position in the world, though. A role that you're freshly feeling passionate that you need to take on. So huge, really beautiful, guys. I'm excited for you. I'd love to hear in the comments what to you this might be about. Also, I've definitely appreciate when you guys subscribe if you like my readings, and a nice thumbs up if you liked this reading in particular. It's definitely helpful to me, and I feel very supported by that. So this is where I'm going to leave you, and I'm very excited for this fresh passion coming up right now. Okay, see you guys.